This is the story of the Battle of Uhud, 700 versus 3,000. Just a year before, the small fledgling Muslim community had achieved a seemingly impossible victory at the Battle of Badr. They were outnumbered, out-equipped, but their faith and unity brought them a miraculous win against the powerful Quraysh tribe of Mecca. But the Quraysh were not a people to forget. They were humiliated and they burned for revenge. So they gathered an army, not a small raiding party, but a force of 3,000 men, led by the formidable Abu Sufyan. They marched towards Medina, their goal clear, to crush the Prophet Muhammad and his followers once and for all. When news of the approaching army reached Medina, a debate began. The Prophet Muhammad and some of the older companions favored a defensive strategy. Stay within the city's fortifications and fight from there. But many of the younger, more zealous Muslims who had missed the glory of Badr were eager to meet the enemy head-on. They argued passionately, "O Messenger of God, lead us out to our enemies." Their enthusiasm was so strong that the Prophet agreed. He put on his armor, and the Muslim army, about 700 strong, marched out to meet the Quraysh at the foot of Mount Uhud. The Prophet, a brilliant strategist, surveyed the battlefield. He saw a potential weakness, a gap in the mountain pass. An enemy cavalry could sweep through there and attack the Muslims from behind. So he positioned a small group of 50 archers on a nearby hill, giving them one single crystal-clear command. Do not leave your post, no matter what. Whether we are winning or losing, do not move from this spot until I give you the order. The battle began. At first, it was a repeat of Badr. The Muslims, though outnumbered more than 4-1, fought with incredible courage and discipline. They pushed the Quraysh line back. The enemy standard-bearers fell one after another. The Meccan army began to waver, then break, then flee, leaving their camp, their wealth, and their supplies behind. It looked like another stunning victory. The main Muslim army saw the enemy running and began to collect the spoils of war. And up on the hill, most of the archers saw it too. They saw their brothers gathering riches. They saw the enemy in full retreat. Their commander reminded them of the Prophet's words, but the temptation was too great. Thinking the battle was over, about 40 of them abandoned their post and ran down to join the others, eager for their share of the spoils. And that was the moment everything changed. Khalid ibn al-Walid, a brilliant Quraysh cavalry commander who hadn't yet embraced Islam, was watching. He saw the hill, now undefended. He saw his chance. He wheeled his cavalry around, galloped through the unguarded pass, and crashed into the rear of the Muslim army. Chaos erupted. The Muslims, caught completely by surprise, were trapped between Khalid's cavalry and the returning Quraysh infantry. The tide of battle turned in an instant. The victors became the victims. In the confusion, many were killed, including the Prophet's beloved uncle Hamza. A rumor even spread like wildfire that the Prophet himself had been killed, causing morale to plummet. The Prophet was wounded, but he was alive. He rallied his remaining companions, and they managed a retreat up the slopes of Mount Uhud, where they were protected. The Quraysh, though they had inflicted heavy losses, didn't press their advantage to destroy Medina. They declared their revenge complete and marched back to Mecca. The battlefield fell silent. The Muslims were left with their dead, their wounded, and a profound, painful lesson. They hadn't been defeated by the enemy's strength, but by a moment of their own disobedience, a moment of greed. The victory they held in their hands had slipped through their fingers because a crucial command was ignored. The Battle of Uhud wasn't a story of glorious victory, but of human error and its devastating consequences. It taught the early Muslims, and it teaches us, that success isn't just about strength or initial triumph. It's about discipline, patience, and seeing a plan through to the very end. Sometimes the most important lessons are learned not in the thrill of victory, but in the bitter sting of defeat.